Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our Global TV Deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make him a throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rob and cheat, and not first and four. Make up what I seen to make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. So, my favorite part, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red, how they want to see, they didn't can sell out Rasta, and sell it out, I sell out Babylon. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see, they didn't can sell out Rasta, I sell out, I sell out Babylon. Just stop on the price. You must throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing. You must throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Good evening, and welcome to Global TV. Bear with me, I need to change my broadcast slide. Bear with me. How is everyone doing? Welcome, one and all. Welcome. The old buses have rolled out. Do you trust putting your children on them? Across the rolled out today, some children refuse, some went along with it, but oh God, I don't know. TikTok need to get a life, like literally. Mm? TikTok really needs to get a life. Just by saying hello, it look like I'm going to tap say hello. Because every time I say hello, TikTok gives me a violation. The old bust them out TikTok, yes. Some children took them, some did not. Probably more took them than didn't. I see the education minister, the finance minister, and some fools on my Facebook page making something I really don't understand what they're on about. Like some who have the view that those are the exact buses taking children to school in New York. Some have it that even England have those school buses too. Maybe another England, but not like this one. But never mind. They are going to make every excuse for the Jamaica Labour Party until something drastic happens in our country. If Darrell Vaz, the Minister of Finance, and other things, what were there two accidents today? Wouldn't be surprising. If Darrell Vaz, the Minister of Finance, not Finance, the Minister of Transport of $1.4 billion, can tell us, the people of Jamaica, that these gold standards, as they call them, only have 20% of engine life, with mileage range from 60,000 to 170,000. Even though he said to us that we wouldn't recognize the difference with the one with 60,000 mileage and the one with 170,000 mileage, the Bakostapa minister said. Notwithstanding, for the last few weeks, we, the people of Jamaica, we've observed these buses moving around the country, breaking down, crashing, unable to go uphill, jabbing at the middle of the road. So many major concerns. But some laborites are trying their best to convince themselves and the public that we are just bad mind. Hmm? The buses are fit for purpose, but we are bad mind. Even though I don't think, since we bought these 110 buses from America, I don't think America spent money to buy the amount of tires as we have spent over $25 million purchasing tires for the brand new buses. I mean, anybody can see that in it. Even if you're Labourite or you're PNP, you can see that this whole new urban school bus system is a fraud. Is a fraud. That means you don't go buy old clothes and come call it new. I really don't understand where we're getting at as a people. Can we not call something for what it is? The old boss, without you all coming on my page having a meltdown and a turnaround. Hmm? I really don't understand why we cannot see it in the interest of our children rather than in the interest of our political masters. Just like I told the PNP, if we don't win, I want to put them on the road, a calamity between we and uno. It's not because JLP wastes our money or stole our money and buy them. That wasn't the biggest concern because the drill is being used. The major concern with these buses are safety issues. Like for those people who live in foreign and have them children Pan American school bus and foreign road, it's quite much a different thing to see those buses operating in America as they are designed to drive on the left hand or wherever how they set. It's okay for them to operate in America. America have big broad roads. They're designed for that. They're not designed for little winding alleys, rickety tickety roads as we have. They're not designed for that. And that is, thanks Murphy, that is a cause for a lot of us when it comes to the security, the safety issue rather of our children. I mean, it's not, our children are not Labour Right and PNP. They may belong to people who support either party. But if the worst happens, as we can sit from afar without the necessary people who should look after our children taking it into concern, it's going to be the children of Jamaica. Hmm? Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. Honodo, YouTube and TikTok, to my community of parity and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good evening and welcome. Good evening to parity. Why wanna get so wind up when I speak, parity people? I mean, it's not like you all don't know me. It's not like you all don't know that I've got a big mouth. It's not that you don't know that I'm properly educated to speak on the issues that I'm speaking. So I don't know why you all want to shut me down with politics. But when it's matters that concern you all or wanna seek me advice or whatever, why then am I not allowed to speak on politics? If I can help you all to expose things that may have happened in the community, why shouldn't I? It's because we love crime so much. Nyama food government, Nyama food society. It's really how we operate. We just want to eat a food. It's all right to eat a food, but the safety of your children still comes first. And if you cannot put your children's safety ahead, then Jamaica is in big problem. Because if it's party before your country, before your children's safety, then we're heading in a dangerous path. We ought to be able to talk about the safety concern of these buses. I mean, we're not dreaming. We've seen it. The evidence is there. How come none of the JUTC buses were coming at the country now broke down like these, what you all call brand new buses? It's not happening. But since these come into the country, there's massive problem with them. Them break down, them have accident, them can't go around certain corner, they can't go up certain hill. They are meant to serve rural Jamaica. They're meant to serve rural Jamaica. Even if these old buses were operating in New York, as some fool suggested, New York and Jamaica Road is quite much of a difference for these things to operate on. A lot of no attack JLP supporters. Uno probably wouldn't even put uno children in a them. Or if uno decide to, uno just do it because one, either uno don't love uno children, or two, you just want to show that your party have made the right wrong choice. Don't you think we deserve better? Globalists, if you don't want to call in to help me run the program, let me put up the number on screen, so at some point you will get used to calling if you want to have a say. But there are certain things we can be honest with ourselves with. The safety of our children in our country is paramount. We know say a lot of we swap out with self-political masters. When it comes to your children's safety, though, it should be much of a different thing. You shouldn't have to sacrifice your children's safety in order to make politicians feel good, or not to call out your politician and their bad choices. School open, and the Jamaica Teachers Association is saying, may I speak it in my own word, because people have run away with women and say and have hissy fit. But the Jamaica Teachers Association has said, school lack over how much a week now. The government been running around the country, spending money, one MP using millions to buy vote from the Jamaican people. But school open with lack of resources. And you believe you are going to get the minimum wage. You believe the government's promises. You believe the Minister of Education promises. When school open, after all of these promises, after all of the debate with Sigwan, and how education was on everybody's lip, because the People's National Party, one could argue, got a good education policy. Whether they implement it or not, that's another thing. but it was a good sort out policy that we could hold them to. The honesty is, we really don't know what the JLP policy and school education is, or if we really can hold them to it. Honestly, I did not read their manifesto. Honestly, I wouldn't waste my time listening to the noise which they presented their manifesto with. So if they have a well thought out policy for education, I'm not aware. Didn't heard much about it in the news either. What I know for sure though, since the budget presentation of last year, when Mark Golden makes certain, or Damian Crawford or Mark Golden makes certain talk about what they would do in education, like with school lunch and so on, we noticed the people at the Jamaica Labour Party piggyback on some of those things, even though badly implemented. The $1.4 billion wasted on the so-called rural old school bus system. That money, with the added 25 million we've spent on tires since they come and the old thread them start blow off of the tire them. Maybe if they did steal that labor, that PNP policy of 10,000 to the people them where about 10,000 pounds a week or so. Is it week or a month? Don't catch me up. Where the PNP was planning to give children in the rural and deep rural area who are having transportation and money problem, they plan to make sure children have a hot meal. Yes, if it was PNP who won the election, it would take a little time for them to put things in place. However, the JLP is in their continuous leadership. So if they were serious about funding schools and putting in all the measures, then there wouldn't be that there's no resources there. Imagine the lack, they're calling out lack of resources. When the Minister of Education, the Minister of Finance are run upon down to them to fool the people of Jamaica that these, 10,000 per month, thank you, that these old buses are worthy of what they want them to do. These are the things that we expect, because the government, even though Parliament was dissolved, the government is still in operation. And you would have thought the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Education would put a package together to alleviate the bottleneck at the start of the new school year. We've started as we've ended, with lack of resources. Educators soon start ball out with the money problem again. The St. Thomas bus didn't show up because of mechanical problem. See the new bus. And you can't talk about it. Me see one of my foolish cousin come on my Facebook this evening and tell Debbie, a lie, it's a old lie. Why don't you go back to school? Somebody not live in a foreign so long and don't take advantage of foreign good education. At least that you can do when you live in a foreign so long. Try pull yourself out of the gutter of the lack of education where we come from in a parity. At least that we can do, my dear. Rather than making ourselves look like fools to suit our political masters, put our country and our children first. A foreign she live, Debbie, she live on foreign, she live all the way up in New York. Them claim them live. And they're thinking that it doesn't matter us speaking up for our children. I never get and understand these people. The safety of your children matters. It is not the right system. Given that we have spent up so much money on these buses, and from them come into the country, we're continuing to spend money, and you all don't see the problem? $25 million in a tire? You have seen the tires blown off or blown out throughout the whole election cycle? You haven't seen the accident or the breakdown? But it's good enough for Jamaican children. I wonder if they would put their children in such a substandard service in a foreign. No. Is it a surprise that the school year has just started and the Jamaica Teachers Association is crying out of lack of resources in our schools? Under this Jamaica Labour Party government, I don't find it surprising. And I don't think a lot of you would find it surprising. This is a government, I'd rather call them a regime, because sometimes governments and regime are two different things. This is a regime for the last 10 years, has been attacking the education budget. 124 million chopped by Grace McLean. She bought her side man a birthday cake for $1 million. Yes, $1 million for Grace McLean boyfriend birthday cake. 50 million chopped by Worrell Reed and his friends. Almost $1 billion unaccounted for under Favor Williams' tenure. I don't think anyone would be surprised that the school year has started and the Jamaica Teachers Association is calling out for lack of resources. Put the promise aside, whatever promise the government made for the new election just had. Did the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Finance not put any resources, any funding aside for the opening of the school year? I mean, we have enough money. You've just spent 1.4 billion plus an added 25 million. And no, me going to talk about just what they robbed from education. Done it. Just talking about what they robbed from education. So it's no surprise that JTA is calling out for lack of resources. Because the money that should run education in our country gets siphoned off at the ministry level. But when we talk about it, because we're bad mind and evil. I don't mind being bad mind. I don't mind being evil. If it is that what I'm talking about is the truth, or is facts, or is a matter of public concern, I don't have a problem in being bad mind. If standing up for what is right means bad mind, I mean, can you provide me more than one space in the bad mind queue? Because I would want to join it again. We cannot continue like this. We cannot continue to keep putting politician ahead of everything we do. It is why we continue to sell ourselves to them without any benefit, without even the minimum that they promise us. We've just come out of an election with a plethora of promise. And you mean, somebody remind me, we've just seen, remember just when campaign I got start, yeah? Didn't you see them putting aside how much $1 million to repair, even though they did told us that we have recovered from burial? But just in last month, we saw where the government put millions aside to deal with the repair of schools that was damaged in burial. Is it that our children, after over a year, has gone back to school, and some of these schools are still not repaired from the effects of burial? And where would those money be that the government keep issuing out when it comes to the repair of our schools? What was the Minister of Education doing? Minister of Education and Finance doing over the summer month? Of course, they were campaigning hard and fast for a third term. But nobody seemed to have remember. And as I say, anyone I don't have a view, one who can call and make my labber mouth rest. Nobody think that, okay, we're fighting for a third term. We have to at least do good on some of the low-hanging fruits of our promises. Like make sure education have the resources. But here comes our first day, and teacher don't have what they need to work with. You think you're going to get the minimum wage? Do you think you're going to get the minimum wage anytime soon? If even education have to start back as they ended the school year with lack of resources, and start the new school year with lack of resources. But yet the government have a lot of money to waste. Floyd Green alone spend millions buying votes. I mean, imagine the money that this government in the last few weeks used to buy power was invested in our children. Hold on. To the computer. It should be coming to on the computer. Deborah, good evening. Are you calling to give your view on the show?
To lava for a minute.
Globalist, let me know. Let me know if you can hear Debbie Jervis on the YouTube. Speak, Debbie, and let me see if they can hear you. Can you hear Debbie Jervis clear?
I am just calling, like I said, to lava for a hot minute. I don't know how hot the minute will be. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Globalist, give us a signal on YouTube. Okay, both of us, both can hear you, Debbie. Go ahead.
Okay. Yes. Just a quick run back to the old Boston. And your wonderful family member for getting a Custis today. Listen, I had to straighten her out because I know what I'm talking about. Because I work the school district in Florida for 30 years. I work with transportation for 20 of those 30 years. I'm a car, my transportation, people and mechanics and technicians who work on buses on a regular. And I ask about the Bluebird buses and the Grumman buses that they had in their fleet that they got rid of and bought new ones. They say, they ask what mileage do y'all take the buses off the fleet? And why you take them off the fleet at that mileage? And my response from several that I've spoken to is, when the buses reach a certain amount, anytime they hit 100,000 and they start with issues and problems, where it's costing more to fix and patch and repair, they take them out the fleet.
Exactly.
And they usually take them out the fleet when it's coming towards the end of the school year or at the end of the school year, because with the new budget coming in, they're putting in the budget monies to acquire brand new buses coming off the showroom floor because it's more economical.
It's the reason that
the buses what them get at Jamaica cost $1. From my people and me talk what me used to work with, them say some of them, because of the mileage, then their bus really and truly their bus graveyard. And some of them are donated to like daycare centers if they have activities where they have a lot of kids and they're going to take them on school trip. But they sign the waiver, so look, you get the bus as is. Any repairs and upgrade is on the purchaser or the person getting the donation. Them buses and care come to Jamaica can lie talk about their brand. They are not brand new.
I mean, the evidence is clear on that.
They're older than Methuselah, and plenty of them say come out of bus graveyard.
But Debbie, the hurtful thing about 1 second, Debbie. One of the annoying thing about some of these people that is promoting this madness, they claim to have lived in foreign. I don't know how you could live in foreign and want the best for yourself and your children, but you're subjecting Jamaica people and children to substandards. I never get that.
And I said they take them out the street because their motto is no child left behind, number one, as far as education and progress go. And transporting our most precious cargo is top priority. What that going to look like transporting children in some old record bus that, first of all, most of them don't have no what you call it? I give the buses like an air ride. The word slip me now. Whether or not when if they hit a bump, it's not you don't feel like somebody hit you with a sledgehammer. So remember the word, but then take them out the plate because they are not spending unnecessary money to keep fixing a bus, especially if it has a large amount, a very huge amount of mileage on it. That's number one. Number two, these buses that they have here in America that then sent to Jamaica, they drive on roads that are where one lane in America
It's bigger than Jamaica double lane road.
That is a double lane road in Jamaica.
As I would have it, these buses are bigger than some of our rural roads.
Yes, and the winding rural roads, the corners that some of Philly Road had.
With some of them with that precipice or gully on the side, Debbie Jervis.
Listen to me. When one of our family reunions where we had in Jamaica, part of our family reunion was community service day. And we sponsored a school that one of my cousins used to teach as a teacher up in a Mere House Primary. And when we left Brownstorf to go to Mere House with all of the other things that we're carrying to do the charity work, the heights and the hills, we had to go up on the road. Let me tell you, road bad, and it's pure precipice on both sides of the road.
I hope none of them is going to South Trelawney.
These buses can't manage it.
I see a main road in Dalrymple.
Absolutely cannot.
I see a main road in Dalrymple constituency. I hope they're not planning to send any of these buses on that road. While you're talking, I'll continue talking, Debbie, but I'll let that road run across the screen so people can see what I'm talking about. It will be muted, so keep talking.
I am sure a lot of us have seen videos of the buses in the road, them have to drive in the middle of the road, and then them get in an accident because them on the other side of the road, taking up half the other side of the road, and cars get jacked up at the running banking, and some get hit by the buses because there's nowhere for them to go. The buses are too wide. The same amount of listen, I don't believe for 1 second that Darrell Bassett is crooked cronies spend that kind of money on those buses. I don't believe it for a second. They always say, follow the money. See that? They just follow the money, because I absolutely positively think that most, if not all, these buses are donated.
Well, if they're been sold for £1 in America, Debbie, I mean, our good friend America would want to donate them to us through their aid program and all that, isn't it?
Exactly. And I honestly do not think that they would donate these buses or send these buses to Jamaica for them to use to transport children when them don't take them out of their own fleet in America because of the safety issues.
Mm-hmm.
That's just unbelievable to me. Just really and truly unbelievable. Lord Jesus, when I look on your video, oh my God.
That's the main road, you know. That's the main road in rural South Trelawny.
When you
Hey,
when
Jesus.
you had when you have fear of heights
Mhm.
and you're going up a high, very high place, your foot back and sweat. And that may look on you and say, no,
That
foot
is
back and
that
sweat.
is exactly
Because
my problem.
this is the main road and the bus can't fit there. There's no, where are the cars that are coming in, our vehicles coming in the opposite direction supposed to go when the bus coming down the road?
And I think this is
Yeah,
a rural lane rather than a rural road. Lane and road are two different something.
the bus can barely fit in that space yourself. Where are the cars or vehicles coming in the opposite direction supposed to go when a bus is coming down?
Debbie, this would have problem driving through Black River, which is a town in rural Jamaica.
Okay.
It would have problem on Black River one-way roads. Because the bus, as me say, bigger than our roads.
Right.
The problem is nobody
They absolutely are.
Nobody on the Labour side can't see that.
And you have people talking about, oh, well, at least I'm doing something. They get the buses. It might take them a long time because it took them 9 years to do it, but it's there. And what you take 9 years to come up with, you could have taken 1 year to go by brand spanking new buses that are fit for the road, that won't take up the whole road, that can transport several number of children safely.
Or as leaders carry come for the time being, you could at least take some advice from Antigua. Because Antigua bought some decent enough school bus from China the other day that costs much less than what we pay for the old buses where at the moment they landed in Jamaica. We have to start repair them. We have to start spend on them.
And the 1.4 billion would then take the claims that pay for these buses. Nowhere in that budget was there a line item for repairs and supplies and parts. How much is that going to cost, and where that money coming from?
It is also the reason why they cannot provide us any paperwork for these buses. Because it don't go so.
That's what I said. Follow the money. Follow the money. Show me the bill of sale for each bus. Show me the paperwork for each bus. Show me the year, the make, the model, the odometer reading, and the maintenance history of these buses. And show me in the budget what in the set aside, how much money in the set aside to fix and repair these old, useless buses. The other days they needed to use before we could and all sorts of stuff. That's really
full cover, hog pen, corner shop. Or if we want to have a better
use them as corner shop.
Or if we want to have a better use for them in the education system, there's many schools in Jamaica that doesn't have what we're going to call it a staff room or a day room or a rest room, especially for auxiliary staff who have to sit down on the tree. Many Jamaicans are aware of this. Auxiliary staff have to sit on the tree, have lunch. Auxiliary staff have to sit down on the tree when rain or fall. Because all that is provided on the school ground is the classrooms. So you can look for 110 schools that well needed that staff room and use those buses for those. That would be a good use for them, I think.
Of course. And then the man caught opening road in a day like that. 100 of the buses are going to be on the road, en route, and 10 are held in reserve for when they have a breakdown. Excuse me? If the bus is brand new,
Mm-hmm.
you mean brand new mean just come off of the showroom floor and have less than 100 miles on it, or up to 100 miles because they have to road test them and all that stuff. Brand new tells me 0 mile or up to 100 miles on the odometer.
Mm-hmm.
Brand spanking new engine, brand spanking new tires.
Remember the minister told us that they have a 25% engine capacity. The 20% rather.
20%,
A
sir.
20% engine capacity.
How is that new? How is that new? How is that new if you only have 20% life left in the engine?
Then if you use buckle stopper to count, maybe you would mess up at a certain point along the way, wouldn't you?
Jesus, I tell you. Between him and me, I'm not. Lord, we in trouble.
For me, the diasporans, because sometimes you have to take some of what Jamaicans at home say into account who haven't got certain exposure to certain things. But when people who live foreign, especially in America where these buses are operating, and to try to shore up them stupidness, me see them all are tell me that these buses operate in England too. Like, seriously? They have to go that far to defend the government failure, to be blaming England for something where me never see England operate yet as school buses.
First of all, buses that came from Florida to Jamaica are buses that were taken off the fleet and then sit on in a sun hut and dry rot. Buses that came from New York buses that taken off the fleet that were used in snow, in ice, in sleet, and then had to have chain on the tires for them to drive in snow and ice.
Mm-hmm.
When them take them off the fleet, them sit down in a bus graveyard and dry rot. The salt alone on the tires dry rot them at maximum speed.
Let me just ask this question to the viewing public. Is anyone aware of these school buses operating in Canada? Because it was said on my Facebook page this evening, Canada, England operate them. I know for England it's a definite lie. We don't even have school bus made for England. England don't do school bus. We have a well put together transport system where school bus is not really relevant here, especially in London or in the big cities. It's just not relevant. I'm not aware of it. The only schools, the only
types of buses in Canada. I understand they use these types of buses in Canada, but again, Canadian roads versus Jamaican roads. Canadian buses are up to date. Top maintenance is top notch, and when maintenance start getting too regular, then take them off the fleet just like they do in America.
And I don't think Canada would buy buses with 20% engine capacity.
No,
I doubt they would do that.
Not. Absolutely not. Can you imagine the workers that would go on? Not to mention in America, in Florida, in New York. Oh my gosh.
The only children I know get transported to school in this country by the state through private entities, or children mainly with learning disabilities, and that you have to apply to local government. But we don't have a national school bus system. because the transport system is so good here.
Because your
There's no need
transportation
for that.
system is top notch.
Exactly.
You got your double decker buses, your regular buses, you got your two or your train, and that run on a regular basis.
Exactly. So we have no need for this system, but they're willing to make that argument just to support the government's failure, which is blatant to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people are saying Canada have that system, but for
Right.
sure Canada would have a
Canada
road.
don't have no old bus on the road. They don't have no old bus on the road.
Yeah,
And the roads
yes.
are 100% better than they are in Jamaica. They have bad road at Canada too, but nothing compared to Jamaica. Nothing. Nothing at all. And before you slide off on the old bus, then something took me today, and I travel, and I'm like, you know what? I hear nothing about Troy Bridge in Trelawney. The completion of Troy Bridge. The last year, it was supposed to be big announcement. It was supposed to be completed by July of this year. So when we reached
the last time Nesta spoke,
them say it's nearing completion and it should be done in a matter of weeks as of August 2025. We're in September.
the last time Nesta spoke, I remember he said it was more than 90% completed.
Mm-hmm. And how long ago was that?
That was way early in the summer. It's the stuff. You remember when Everett Warmington had a go at him in Parliament?
Mm-hmm.
It was around
Yes.
it was around those time when Everett Warmington went after him about when he lied about the completion or the starting of all these different bridges. But up to now, given that Troy Bridge is from what, 2021?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
there's still no.
Yes, and I will sure I will sure can knock it down. Our tropical storm that it was so bad.
Yes, it was one. It was a tropical weather then. Yes.
Yeah. I'm here.
But our people in the diaspora, some of them, our labor rights in the diaspora, they don't wish Jamaica people well.
Not at all. Not at all. And they cannot see that the people in power don't give two biscuits about the safety of their children either.
Exactly.
Because you got people talking about, well, they never have no bus system before, and at least we have bus now. And I'm like, but have you seen the buses?
They've seen it because Jamaicans are wedged to TikTok, Debbie. And most of the videos, all of those videos of these buses are all over TikTok. So they are aware, but they are socially and spiritually blind.
I don't understand people sometimes. Lord, I'm telling everybody, all of my people, them are run out, this stuff. Or them are put X next to Bell. Because them are do this and them are do, even people in the diaspora that have not been back home in donkey's years. Oh, my God, so what is he doing to help every single person? Young, old, rich, poor, and in between. What has he done? I said, don't tell me nothing about no road and no bridges and no water. I said, first of all, with the water business in 2025, everybody promised road and water from so-called independence. And I know we have areas in Jamaica where not even pipe run or tight lake running water, much less road. So don't tell me, say, you man do this and you do that. You know how many people they ask? Tell me one thing, just one. One thing that he has done that is beneficial to all Jamaicans. And
No.
all know me can't get one.
No, they speak in a broad brush way. The man do a lot of things, man, a whole heap of things he do. But they are still unable to name you at least one thing. Even though they're of the view that he's done a lot, they are unable to name you one.
Okay. And the one being who personally get take money. Figure both. They just sit down and laugh and listen. How long that money gonna last you? How long it gonna last you? How much time you can go to supermarket with it? And when you go supermarket and buy you like one little standard bag of whatever, and you either cook and eat or just eat. Next day when you go to the toilet, you don't empty again. You can go back to them. You can go back to them and ask them for the same amount of money. Because when they're done laughing at your face, you're going to share. Oh, my dear, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like I said, I mean, no say. My phone cannot accept 876 calls, and everybody who know like to make phone calls, and I beg them know me and talk about them. And I don't know how to send remittance to Jamaica anymore. I don't know how to do it. So don't bother with me.
Western Union and JN broke down.
Okay, all right. Western Union, MoneyGram, and JN broke down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, my dear. Anyway.
Thank you very much.
A chance to call in.
Yes, thank you very much for calling, Debbie.
We'll be back on in the live. Yes, sir.
All right, then you take care and enjoy the rest of your time.
Yes.
Anybody else want to have us?
Knock up the live. People, top up the live. Please, I beg you, top up the live. Top it up. All right, I'm on.
All right, you take care.
All right.
If anyone else want to have their say, the number is on the screen. +1144 755 183 131. That's the number to call if you want to have your say. Are you from rural Jamaica where these buses have rolled out? Are you an educator in our country and you have to start the new school year with lack of resources? We here at Global TV want to hear from you. So pick your phone up and give us a call at +1144 755 183 131. Give us a call and let us hear your views on how the new rural school bus, the new old rural school bus system, because it is new, not the buses. It is new in the sense that it's a new system of school buses have been introduced to rural Jamaica, but not new as in the buses as we've seen what is happening. As we see what is happening already. So let us call in and tell us what happened across your side of the country today. If you are an educator and the school system you're teaching in, you haven't got the resources, let us hear from you, because JTA have come out and they are complaining about the lack of resources when, given all the promises, we expect government to put in place necessary preparation for the start of the school year. It really shouldn't be that teachers have to start asking for help from the government and school just start. The government have so money. The government have wasted so much money on election. It is a disgrace, really. It is a disgrace that not even our children, we couldn't even at least pluck up the resources. I want to talk about something Brian Sykes is having some issue with, which I think Jamaica ought to enforce the law when it comes to juror services. The middle class of Jamaica cannot opt out of jury service willy-nilly. You can't just opt out of jury service willy-nilly. So then people ought to be persecuted if they refuse without good medical or other grounds, if they refuse to participate in juror services. Juror service in our country are not limited to the working poor. And it's not the first I hear them calling out the upper echelons of society who are refusing to get involved in jury service. Then you should be able to penalize them, fine them or otherwise, if they fail to participate. Nick, don't mind, Max Romeo is one of the bewildered laborites who will never see reality for what it is. One of the bewildered who like to go way back in the past. And I don't think they understand how my politics is. My politics is about the current situation. Going back in the past, speaking about what PJ or Portia didn't do is wholly irrelevant to where we are now on the economy being bandied around that we're in. I really don't do that type of politics. I'm aware that a lot of labor rights and PNP does that type of politics. It's not the type of politics that I do because it's just trading blow and history lessons or achievement. What I'm concerned about is the current situation, the current decisions that are being taken, how we can correct them or turn them around or do better. That is really what I'm concerned with. Speaking of the past is really just wasting time. And I see a lot of labor rights and PNP, especially those TikTok debates. This is why I don't do TikTok panel debate, because there's so much of going back in the past and it escapes a lot of what is happening in the current. What nobody else want to call? Me not good enough phone to talk to? Is there something wrong with me? So me not really like a lot of the labor rights and PNP who go back way in time. Me never live in them time there. Me never live in them time there, so me no want go back repeatedly into, oh, but Portia never do this. Oh, but PJ never do this. No. It's the current decisions that I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about how we can correct the current decisions, how we can make current decisions better. It is what will help us to progress. But if we continue to lag in the past, it really helps politicians to get away with the current, such as our election that has just finished. It is a current issue with a lot of problems identified, problems of corruption and illegalities, possibly, that has swayed the election. Not something we're just talking out of thin air. Issues the election observer have concern over. Issues where we have seen evidence of certain things unfolding on election day. Those are my concern. The concern of the new old rural school bus system, which many Jamaicans, not just vloggers, many Jamaicans have security concerns over those buses. And these are the things that we ought to be addressing. We cannot go back and address the failures of PJ, Portia, Bruce, or Siaga. We cannot go back and correct those. What we can do, though, is make decision going forward that benefits the populace or that is good to uplift the people. That is my major concern. Holding government to account for their current decisions. I mean, if you're to sit down and wallow over PJ, Portia, Bruce, Siaga, Michael, you're never going to catch up to pay attention to what is currently going on. That is why we have a thing called current affairs. What is currently happening now? How can we call them out? How can we expose them? How can we bring light to them? So what going in our election needs to be addressed. And I would hope, as Wholeness plan to, and as Golden plan to listen to the people. A lot of us across the country, in media, civil society, swathes of the population, the election observers are saying things went wrong in this election. The security services came out and told us things went wrong in this election. We were pushed all over the place. Dr. Chang is yet to tell us anything more about the bomb threats. The bomb threats that would have possibly taken police and soldiers away from their voting duties on that day to attempt to what would have been something possibly made up by the government in order to suppress the security services vote. What you all should be concerned about is the government coming forward and explain to us their feasibility on the 100% rise in minimum wage. Those are the things we should have straightening out. We ought to be calling on the government. Good God Almighty, you've all just spent tant amount of money to run an election, and you mean school open and teachers across the country doesn't have the resources they need? These are serious things that we ought to be concerned with. But in Jamaica, it's not quite so. We put politicians ahead of the children, which is sad. Very, very sad for a society when we cannot hold government to account without people thinking that you're bad mind or you're PNP. Nathan Campbell was saying some rude things on to do on that day. This is the problem with you, labor rights, Max Romeo. We don't always have a problem when Dayton speak of Dayton rudeness, but we don't hear and have the same problem with Everett Warmington and Darrell Vaz. We never hear Dayton Campbell cuss up bad word in a public and political stage, or we know how Vaz and Warmington conduct themselves on political stage. I don't know why you all continue to go after Dayton Campbell, because he has a big mouth, he shout and he speak a lot of the truth. I don't see what your problem is, to be honest. Because if it's about speaking rudely, then it cannot be just about Dayton Campbell, who we don't have much public evidence in crowd to say Dayton have a very nasty mouth to people in public. When we've seen that on the other side, and especially Everett Warmington repeatedly, but all the time on a come to pull Dayton Campbell. When Dayton Campbell needs to be drugged, I certainly drugged him. But the little nitpicking, Max Romeo, the little nitpicking that you Jamaica Labour Party supporters go on about Dr. Campbell. It will go worse right now because Dr. Campbell is now in Parliament. He's going to be one of the loudest voice in Parliament. I mean, the little nitpicking is not something that will stifle Dr. Campbell. Anybody else want to call the program? The number is +1144 7551 183131. That's the number to call the program if you want to have your say on global TV about any of the issues facing us, whether it be what happened during our election last week, the start of the new school year where Jamaica Teachers Association has been calling out for lack of resources. If you have a view, we would like to hear from you, but it is the current issues. As I asked you on my Facebook page today, Mr. Green, and this morning I think I did on YouTube as well, 100,000, 150,000 respectively was given to two young men in parity on Wednesday morning, Mr. Green, to buy votes for you. Do you want to say who they are, Mr. Green? May I go fix up all of the names when me aware of Floyd Green, along with you and council candidate Dr. Bamedele, and email it to the EOJ. Come in and know what else to send it to, even though it's going to go to Andrew's office. But I'm going to send you a list of names that Floyd Green go around the constituency and issue out money after money after. The vote buying spree in St. Elizabeth was most this great, because we used to vote buying in St. Elizabeth. It's not a thing. PNP do it as well. But what PNP on the ground is telling me this time, Miranda Wellington refused to engage in vote buying, hence is why she lost. And I agree with Miranda. We shouldn't engage in vote buying. We really shouldn't do it. Previous PNP candidate in Southwest St. Elizabeth done it. But even a simple thing as gas voucher for those who doing the runs on election day, even that Miranda Wellington did not provide. And some of the constituents are blaming her for that as to why a lot of the young men in Southwest St. Elizabeth have their finger inked by Floyd Green and his operative on Tuesday night, because they were paying up to $30,000 if you hold out and negotiate. For those who accept gladly, they got their $5,000 to $6,000. Some people got $10,000. Some people got $15,000. Some got $30,000. But that's for those who stuck out for more. But those two youths in party, Mr. Green, who you gave 100,000 and 150,000 respectively on Wednesday morning, those people went around and buy a lot of $5,000 vote for you on election day, Mr. Green. And you know well, Mr. Green, who I'm talking. You know well who I'm talking about. But because party people is up my ass and down my throat at the moment, much party people me and them go at loggerheads now. 1, 2, 3, about 4, 5 now. Me and them been at loggerheads. So rather than come call their name publicly, to make them tear off my piece of old underwear, I'm going to submit their name along with yours, Mr. Green, and Dr. Bamedele to the EOJ. Is a matter of what they want to do with it. And Mr. Green, if you're on party people, push me, Mr. Green. I want to just stick me under my short ribs. Make her come out here and have a verbal diarrhea, Mr. Green. Stick me, Mr. Green, with a pin, and I might just come out here and have a verbal diarrhea. So if you think, Mr. Green, your labor rights on Facebook in parity is making it any better for you, you all might just provoke me to put everybody's name out in public. Because remember the older we know one another, 1 Treaton Lane, Mr. Green. It is one, Mr. Wayne, do you know Lazarus Plaza. Oh, yes, I know Lazarus. Lazarus has a son in party as well. Mhm. That there. Lazarus! Lazarus and one of my uncle, a very good friend in a ladybug. We're very good friend. So careful, Mr. Green. Tell your people them say, if I come on my page when me call your name or when me post anything about you and think being offensive or being nasty to me, Mr. Green, is going to shut me down. I'm very much certain party people know better than that. That if you stick me, I'll have a verbal diarrhea. So it's not going to help you, Mr. Green, if you send them out, or if it's your minions and delegates in party, Mr. Green, sending them out. It just won't work, sir. Because you and I know all of the people in Parity and Black River, more so Parity, who help you to buy votes. Lazarus still alive? No, Lazarus is not alive. Lazarus. Oh, Lazarus and the Holy cow. No, Lazarus. Lazarus is not alive. But him have picking a Parity, him have picking a Black River. Him have picnic just about anywhere him pluck up. But we're not going to stop talking about the election. Or if you don't want to cut us a deal, we don't stop call Anvar's name in our country. Yeah, man, Lazarus dead. Because I'm sure the party's son get the house on mountainside. Lazarus dead, man. I'm sure he is. Yeah, man, Lazarus dead because of the son from Parity got the house in mountainside. Anybody want to call the program? The number is on the screen, +1144 7551 183 131. Yeah, he's dead because the Parity son used to live in mountainside, but since Lazarus dead, him spend a lot of time in Parity, but as he was the one who got the mountainside house because over the years he was the one who normally lived with Lazarus. But St. Elizabeth have characters upon characters up on characters. A lot of characters St. Elizabeth have. If you know Lazarus, you probably know one of my uncle. He's always dressed in white. Him and Lazarus, the two of them always dressed like a cricketer. Me always call the two of them cricketer because the two of them always dress in white. Don't know what they're trying to say if them hide their dirty characters. I really don't know. But Mr. Green, we're not going to stop talk about all the fraud. All the fraud that you carried out. Yes, Nick, so you know them well. Murder. All the fraud that you carried out in this election. We're not going to stop talking about it. As well as holding the Jamaica Labour Party and their operatives across the country accountable, Gasol Brown must also be held accountable. This is 2 elections in 2 years, messed up by Andrew Holness, crony. because Gashole Brown is under the oversight of Andrew Holness, given that these entities are in the office of plenty ministry. And we've seen last year where Andrew Holness prevent us from even hearing the count for the local government election. Because them the time they added Cliff Hughes 1 as major broadcaster, was broadcasting it in Jamaica with everybody tapping into Cliff Hughes' stream. Andrew Holness took Cliff Hughes off air before 10 o'clock Jamaica time when the count is still going on. It was worse this time. And we cannot help but talking about it, because within all of that, our democracy was stolen on Wednesday night. It's not about being a sore loser, because the People's National Party conceded on the same night. Many of us congratulated the Prime Minister on his third term on the same night, even though we were of the view that the election weren't fair, based on what we have seen unfolded across the country. They are lucky Dayton didn't take part in the debate. Don't worry, Kate M. The major debates are coming up. Would you like to see the sectoral and constituency debate in the next parliament? The budget presentation in the next parliament? A controversial bill been put through the House in the new parliament? I'm sure now Andrew Holness is going to sit down and make sure him get a bill right before presenting it to Parliament. When I really talk about Fayetteville, to me, Fayetteville is just a piece of cutout cardboard. Honestly, and it was what I got from Fayetteville during the debate as well. A piece of cutout cardboard behind a desk. It literally, for me, wasn't more than that. But trust me, Parliament is going to be exciting for the next 5 years. And I'm sure a lot of us in the media community is going to be taking a closer look now at Parliament, given how robust the debate is going to be. Not only how robust it's going to be, but how, I don't know how to express myself here, how it now go match up, because Favor against Julian Robinson is no match, because we all know, based on Favor performance at the budget presentation, how the cutout cardboard performed dismally the other night at the debates, causing the people in possession never turn up. So there will be no match in a debate between both on matters of finance or spending. A Dr. Tufton who knows nothing about health, who you have two current doctors in the system on the People's National Party bench, Dr. Dawes, which will be his opposition, and Dr. Campbell there to back him up on the health issues. It's literally no match. Floyd Green as well has no experience in agriculture. It's only because Floyd Green came from Southwest St. Elizabeth, the breadbasket and the major part of the breadbasket of St. Elizabeth Southwest. That's why he's been thrust into the agricultural post. He literally have no knowledge, where Dr. Campbell is, his knowledge and agriculture is vast. So Floyd Green won't be a match for Dr. Campbell when it comes to the issues of agriculture. Nestor Morgan, he's going to have to face off with somebody probably like Ian Hales. Maybe he's going to take on Matthew Samuda and the water one and the national works one. So that's going to be something to watch. So a lot of us are going to pay close attention to Parliament this time. Whoever, even though Dana is the education minister, but she's over in the Senate, whoever is speaking for education in the representative is literally no match to Damian Crawford. You have an Isaac Buchanan well versed in our constitution, which Marlene Malahoo Fort has exposed herself to us as a practical dunce. Hales and Samoda, Morgan and Phillips, okay, a practical dunce. So we know there's no matchup there at all. So Parliament will be exciting going forward. It would be yet to see if Andrew Holness is going to change the dynamic of his cabinet in order to put more competent people, if the Prime Minister have them, if the Prime Minister can find them, in order to match up with what's coming forward. Now, the government and constitutional review, it's going to be dead in the water. Because if he's not prepared to negotiate on the big areas that the People's National Party stood out on, the Maroon community, the Rastafarians, the diaspora, and all that, which Holness and the Caribbean Court of Justice, that Holness and his team refused to debate, they're going to be in massive problem going forward. So we don't know if Andrew Holness, it's going to be interesting to see the Prime Minister's new cabinet. And let me say this to Andrew Holness. It would be, but then again, if you did have 49, Dr. Chang, Peter Bunting is back. Peter Bunting, Dr. Chang is back. Given that we won't need a translator for Peter Bunting, but we'll certainly need it for Dr. Chang. There's so much upcoming for the new Parliament. We can't wait till the open because we're going to be glued to Parliament. Because so much. Andrew Holness, Andrew, Richard Azan, Andrew Holness, who you held a press conference on. Colonel Charles Sr. was there. Babsy Grange was there. And who was the other Comochin one? I don't remember. Andrew, I don't think, Prime Minister, going forward, you will have, for the next 5 years, any of your annual statutory declaration will be certified, because into say, from Wapikel Philip coming forward, none of them no sign off from about 2021 so onwards or so. So because you're unable to provide, I mean, and if you won't give away some of your wealth or whatever, but we cannot see where the Prime Minister is going to have a certified statutory declaration going forward. You think as an Prime Minister is going to just look the other side, given that you held a press conference on him over building stall for Jamaicans? Colonel Charles is no different to Darrell Vaz, you know. Oh, you're talking about Colonel Charles Sr. Colonel Charles Sr. was among them. Waiting as an yes, Colonel Charles was there, Babsy was there, and there was another of the thieves there as well. Can't remember. But I hope the Prime Minister is geared up for such. I hate this here. Hold on there.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government who has openly accepted responsibility, who expresses no regret for the act, where a Commission of Parliament has confirmed that the act is corrupt and has referred it for prosecution, and that Minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the Minister.
With all the sympathy that one can have for support, this is embarrassing, not only to the government as a party, not only the PNP, but to the government, to Jamaica, to all of us. Our heads bow this morning with this sort of reaction to it.
So we have to take firm actions in this regard. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
Yes, that Richard Azan, Prime Minister, is back to deal with your corruptions.
Corruption is a vile disease that sucks and drains the health out of something good. Corruption in society is an evil moral infection that keeps community in the state of perpetual sickness. Corruption is a moral virus. It's so potent, it leaves its host sick, lethargic, and unable to realize and accomplish all that a well person can. Where corruption thrives, poverty and not prosperity thrives. Wealth is grabbed into the greedy, grubby hands of those who get fat on the toil and labor of good people. Corruption benefits, only temporarily, those who participate in it. Everyone else is a victim of the theft, the deceit, the dishonesty, and the lies that corruption feeds on. You need to know that a corrupt person is stealing from you. Corruption is filthy work and despicable acts of treachery done under the table and behind closed doors. Corruption is a disgusting shame. Corruption keeps a nation back from true development and from progress. Wise investors steer clear of a corrupt environment. They would rather put their resources into a place where the playing field of opportunity is equal for all and not bent towards feeding the financial lust of corrupt, lying, cheating, thieving politicians and government officials. How many wonderful development projects have been lost because the investors didn't want to do business in a swamp of evil? When those great projects go to another nation or to some other place, we all lose. Believe me when I tell you that corruption steals from you, it steals from all of us. Corruption plunders the nation's wealth. Corrupt people compromise on truth, equity, and fairness, choosing instead to feed off the short-term benefits of crookedness, exploitation, and financial perversion. Corruption is not just a personal matter, it's a culture. It's a way of life, not just for individual people, but for companies, communities, governments, and nations. Corrupt nations, hiding behind large companies, will seek to invest in other weak nations in order to take over the assets of the nation that they've invested into. They will provide financial loans to a nation for the much needed infrastructure, and they will do it with assets that they provide. They will sign contracts by lining the pockets of rotten government officials who participate in this kind of corruption and are then held hostage by their own deceit and greed. Corruption is nothing less than a form of theft and national robbery. A corrupt person steals from everyone in society.
This is the condition of classrooms, I think is it for 7th graders or who? For their purse at the start of the school year.
At them come set TV the ever seen a jumble up. See where you see it, see where you see it. For your grade 7 at a high school. Grade 7 at a high school. And you have to set TV. All that they should do in there, the one on their hand. So what that they're supposed to be? That's supposed to be something you can write on. You look so. Put it on top of the desk. This is supposed to be in a classroom. You put on my phone on it, I go slide up. So, I must have to play marble pan. Because what is this? Good morning. You're a teacher here? Yes. I'm not pleased at the classroom then. Especially this one. Put it on the desk. Or somebody drop out. But then they said not even one fan. The classroom them couldn't sweep out and pop out. Nothing.
No, sweep.
No, you no sweep. Yes, look here. I'm going to show you something say no sweep.
And you wash out too?
No, you no wash out, sir. Nobody take up for them. Look here, sir.
Okay.
This no sweep and this no map.
It
no, man. Me disappointed.
I want to the fan.
No fun. Don't I put more?
There used to be fans here. And I say on the same.
So how them going to operate in a classroom like this with no fun? It's gonna be. It's more than difficult. And even if this one is working, why it's not spinning? So when the student come back, the classroom can be cool. This is a major concern.
This is
7K. Yes, sir. This love is still some love. Titchfield High School up in Portland. The Titchfield High School. Hell no. When me hear about Titchfield High School, me I come to say, yeah. Because them say Titchfield are top school in Portland, right? So me expect to see a better. You understand? You hear the man say, this classroom sweep and map. So how me not afraid, me I go wipe my finger up on the floor and show him say, oh, if this did map and sweep, me could have take up so much dust. But them I go
as the song says, and the glory of the Lord is coming down. We're in for problem. We are in for problem if we can spend millions to buy an election when schools are being starved of resources. Can you wonder why the mindset of our people are so skewed up? Hmm? You don't have to wonder why the mindset of our people are so skewed up, because more money is being spent in messing us up rather than helping us to advance. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. New Corner, Kenneth Russell, Wilbur Hines, Just Perkin. Of course, a lot of new faces, but the Titan them really is going to hold labor rights and throw them up against wall. And I'm sure Parliament for the next 5 years will be great theatre. You don't want to see what Parliament would be like when Andrew Holness, disgrace, have been surfaced and continue to resurface. Thank you for being here tonight. Lovely to have your support. Please do join us back tomorrow morning for your morning program, The At a Glance. Thank you and good night from Global TV.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation. Because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the floor. Make up what I seen to. Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part: if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. They give man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing! You might throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black. Big him and throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. show what's good, and it brings a bad feeling to all wicked men.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.